Mindfulness UK. We're going to start with a short landing practice, just to settle into the moment, and then we'll do a slightly longer practice, which will be based around Metta today. So the practice of loving kindness and compassion, including in particular self-compassion. So just as we start, maybe an invitation just to settle into the moment and just land in a intentional way. It's been obviously a busy week for us with various things going on. So let's just give our bodies and minds a moment to unwind and use the breath and body just to release any tension and fully land in this moment. I invite you to start by sitting comfortably and maybe resting your hands on the top of your legs or in your lap. You can either close your eyes or gently lower your gaze, whichever is comfortable to you. And in a moment, I'm going to invite you to take a long, slow breath in and just have a really nice stretch in whatever way is comfortable to you. It could be a little scrunch of the shoulders into the neck or a bigger stretch. Just something to pause and land here. So if you're ready, let's just do that. Long, slow in-breath and a stretch. And then as you breathe out, just letting everything relax. Another long, slow in-breath. And breathing out as you stretch back and relax back. And just one more time. And now just to settle down and just allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. So we're looking to settle into a relaxed posture where we're comfortable but alert. So ideally we have our knees the same height as our hips or slightly lower so that our back is comfortably straight and our eyes gently closed or lowered, whatever's comfortable. And I'm going to invite you to bring your focus to the breath as it passes in and out of your body. Just in its natural rhythm, the body just breathing in its own way. And we're just seeing if we can allow our attention to follow the breath as it enters the nose and passes down the throat into our chest or our tummy, and then flows back out again in its natural rhythm. Just noticing it as each breath arises and passes. If for whatever reason you don't feel comfortable focusing on the breath, that's absolutely fine. And you could instead choose another point for your attention, such as maybe your feet on the floor supporting you. Or maybe you could put your hand on your tummy and just feel the movement of the soft rise and fall as your body's breathing. And the invitation with mindfulness practice is just to be consciously aware of what's happening in this present moment in a non-judging and kind way. We're not thinking about the future, and we're not reliving or reminiscing about the past, and we're not wishing the present was any different from what it is. We're just being present and allowing it to be exactly as it is. Whether that's busy or calm, stressed or peaceful, just allowing that to be. And we're using each in-breath and out-breath, or the feeling of our feet on the floor, wherever's comfortable, to be like an anchor to the present moment, to what's actually happening right here, right now. And that awareness that it's always here, a place of calm and refuge from the chatter of the busy mind and the busyness of daily life. Just following each in-breath as it becomes an out-breath, and then that slight pause before the next in-breath. And if at any point you notice that you've moved away into thoughts or emotions, just give a little inner smile and gently bring your attention back to the anchor in a kind and non-judgmental way. Remembering that this moment of realizing and returning to the here and now, this waking up out of thoughts or emotions, this is the practice, to just keep coming back to the present and allowing it to be. And coming back again. And again, just following the in-breath and the out-breath. And now that we've settled and landed, I'll just gently bring this practice to a close. But just as I do so, just see if you can keep your attention on the breath for a moment or so longer. And maybe notice if the fact of the practice coming to a close prompts any of the usual habitual thoughts of what next. And if it does, just noticing that and coming back to the breath for 3 more breaths. And now in your own time, just opening your eyes. You can have a little stretch if you want, or a sip of water. Or have a brief pause before the main practice. So today's session is on loving kindness, or the Sanskrit word for that is metta. And it's something that follows through all the different cultures and religions of the world. One of my favorite sayings of the Dalai Lama, which he states regularly, is this: my religion is very simple. My religion is kindness. And I really love the simplicity and the directness of this. For all the pageantry and the customs and traditions of Tibetan Buddhism, he highlights this as the core teaching. And of course, that's very similar to Christianity. Jesus was asked what his most important teaching was, and he pointed to love. And it's exactly the same in the Quran and very many other religious texts. And this really connects us to something that's an inherent part of our humanity. As long ago as 2,000 years ago, at the time of the Romans, Seneca said, wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. And even before then, in Aesop's fable, the ancient Greeks, they talked about the importance of kindness in the story of the lion and the mouse, with the lesson that no act of kindness, however small, is ever wasted. So how do we apply that in daily life? So that's maybe the exercise that we'll explore today. And as we do so, it's worth remembering that a fundamental part of mindfulness practice is this combination of awareness, so maybe awareness of the breath or awareness of the body, with also kindness or metta or loving kindness, compassion, however you wish to describe it. And the American teacher Tara Brach often says that these are the 2 wings of mindfulness, awareness and kindness. And if you have one but not the other, you're only ever flying in circles. So it's a combination of the 2 that really frees us and allows us to wake up fully. So let's do a little practice together. Maybe if you're comfortable, just to settle back into a comfortable position, and in your own time, gently close your eyes or lower your gaze, whichever you prefer. And just bring your attention back to the breath, if that was an anchor that you were happy with, or the feeling of the feet on the floor, if that's one you prefer. And then just settle back into the here and now. And I'm going to invite you to just notice how the body breathes in its own natural rhythm. And as you're aware of that natural rhythm, just maybe sense how, with each breath that enters your body, these simple yet miraculous processes occurring. Your in-breath is filling your lungs with fresh oxygen from the environment around you, and your body is taking that oxygen without you doing anything at all and distributing it through your body and mind to enable you to keep living. And then with each out-breath, your body is emitting carbon dioxide out into the atmosphere before inhaling fresh oxygen. And with mindfulness practice, we're just following that flow, the breath in and the breath out. And Sometimes we're not aware that actually another simple but miraculous process is simultaneously taking place. The trees around us are inhaling our carbon dioxide in order for them to live and exhaling oxygen. So that in many ways we are feeding the natural world and it is feeding us without us, or probably it, even thinking about it. There is a sharing and a kindness happening whereby life is supporting life. So just see if you can sense that wider connection to everything around you as you inhale with each in-breath and exhale with each out-breath. See if you can just get the sense of each breath that may initially feel like a personal thing for your body, actually being life supporting life. And as you sense how your breath is part of life supporting life, I'm going to invite you to do a little bit of visualization as you breathe in and out. I'd like you to visualize a warm golden light in front of you, perhaps a shape or image of something that you love very much and that loves you, whether it's a friend or a person or a pet, or even a place in nature where you feel completely at home. And as you breathe in, just visualizing a warm golden light coming in through your nose and filling your lungs and body in the same way as oxygen does. And as you breathe out, feeding that same golden light back to the image in front of you, making it brighter and more powerful, before in turn it fills you with that golden light. With each in-breath, being filled with golden light, and with each out-breath, we're filling the light in front of us with golden light. And as we imagine the golden light filling our lungs, making sure that it also is spreading through our whole body, head to toe, before each exhalation. And whatever may be going on in our thoughts or feelings, just bringing our attention back, golden light, filling us from head to toe, with each in-breath, giving golden light with each out-breath. In a sense, each out-breath is fueling the golden light in front of us and making it brighter. And each in-breath, we're being fueled and being made brighter ourselves. And if there's any part of your mind or your body that's maybe a little bit tender or sensitive, feel free to just choose to focus that golden light on that spot so that the light is filling all your body and mind, but with an extra special attention to that part that's tender. Whether it's an aching knee, or a stiff back, or a tender heart. Just using that light to look after yourself and fill yourself with warmth and love. And now that you're full of golden light, in symbiosis with the light in front of you, I'm going to invite you to extend the visualization so that each out-breath now sends that golden light out beyond the organ in front of you to those people and animals and living beings that you love the most, and fills them with golden light. Whoever they are, wherever they are, just imagining each out-breath sending them warmth and kindness and love, and filling them with golden light. And noticing that just as we're filling them with light, so they are sharing that back to us. We're brightening and fueling them, and they're brightening and fueling us with this connection. Visualizing each out-breath, filling this group of loved people with contentment and peace and happiness, and being filled by them in return. And if we notice any thoughts that have moved us away from the visualization, just giving that little inner smile and coming back to it. Each out breath, filling this group with contentment and peace and happiness. And each in-breath being filled and vitalized by them. And now I invite you to visualize that each time you light them up with your out breath of golden light, it now extends beyond them to all of the people they know and care about. Some of them you may know, or some you may not know. But just as you care about this group, just sensing and visualizing the wider practice of them also filling the group of people that they care about. We're now intrinsically linked into the light flowing back through them into you. And in your own time, now just extending the visualization further, so that just as your out breaths are filling your group and then filling their group, so we now fill the group of people that are cared about by that further group, and then the group that they care about. And so it extends all around the world, all living beings, all connected back through somebody that cares about them and who they care about. And you can maybe visualize these strands of light gradually circling and filling the world. Because ultimately, whether you know them or not, everybody and everything has someone or something that cares about it. And so this connection can extend to all living beings, whether you know them or not. Just like your out-breath of oxygen is feeding trees and plants around you that you may not know, that may not know you, but there is that connection, and you're supporting them and giving life to them, just as they're supporting you and giving life to you. And I'm going to invite you to notice that because this connection is made through somebody that cares about that person, that we've now encircled the whole world and all living beings. Even if it's somebody who, on some level, you personally find a little bit prickly or difficult, there's someone that cares about them, and that creates the connection. Even if to you, that person may be not such an easy person to deal with. You might like to imagine it like some kind of holly bush where your oxygen feeds the holly bush and the holly bush feeds you, even though the bush, if you touch it, is prickly. But for some small bird who chooses to make its home in the bush, this bush and the prickles are actually really comforting because they provide protection from other larger animals. So how everything has its place and there's a connection through caring, even if it's not a direct connection. And as we move towards the end of the practice, I'm going to invite you to bring that visualization back from the whole world and all beings, just back into your own heart. And with each in breath and each out breath, just noticing how, without doing anything at all, you're feeding life around you, giving life to things around you, and being supported and given life by things around you. By your natural state is itself an act of kindness. We may have thoughts or feelings that we should do more or we're not good enough. But if we let go of the thoughts and come back to what's actually happening in the here and now, our inherent natural being is life supporting other life, is an act of kindness. And just noticing that and clocking it to remember that sometimes in the future when our thoughts may pull us away into self-criticism or self-judgment or self-doubt, there's always that place to come back to acknowledge the thought and allow it to arise, but not get fixated on it. And by bringing our attention back to the breath and our innate kindness, to allow those thoughts to arise and in their own time just pass away, just like the breaths arise and pass to be replaced by another different breath. And we'll just bring the practice to a close in your own time. Absolutely no hurry. Can have one or two more breaths and maybe offer something to all beings. It might be something like, may all beings be happy. May all beings live in peace. And may all beings be free. And now, I invite you to, in your own time, just gently open your eyes and maybe have a stretch as you come back. Okay, so we'll move now into kind of communal sharing session. Let's see if anyone has any observations or comments they wanted to make. I'll stop the recording in just a second, but just before I do so, just to say, I guess, two things. One is there's never a stupid question or a stupid comment. Normally, if it's on someone's mind, it's something that will benefit us all. So there's actually an act of kindness in saying whatever's going on, although absolutely no obligation. And secondly, maybe to set an intention for the sharing, which is that it will somehow help everyone to awaken to the peace and well-being that are our natural birthrights. So I'll pause the recording now.